Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Swarup and in today's session we are going to learn one of the most fundamental and commonly used component in Android development, that is EditText. EditText is what allows users to type their name in a sign-up form or send a message in a WhatsApp or search for something in YouTube. We will understand what EditText is and why it is most important and how to implement in XML and Kotlin and use different input types and do validation. And finally, I will give a code demonstration to show everything in action. So let's get started. Let's begin by understanding what EditText is. EditText is a UI widget in Android that allows users to enter and edit text in your app. It is actually extend the text view class, so it will inherit all the display properties of text view, but it adds powerful input capabilities. Whether it is a simple name field or a multiple line feedback form. Edit text is the main way to collect user input interactively in Android apps. It will support real-time input and various keyboard types and customization for different use cases. This makes it an essential building block for any interactive Android application. Now, why edit text is so important? Think about most mobile apps, they all need user input in some forms. For example, authentication, search functionalities, messaging, data collection. In authentication, login or sign up forms need fields for username, email, and password. For such functionalities like apps like YouTube or Play Store, use edit text for search bars. For messaging, chat apps like WhatsApp rely on edit text for composing messages in a real time. For data collection, feedback forms, surveys, and many apps collect structured input for user using edit text. So without edit text, apps would not be able to interact with users effectively. Basic XML implementation. Now let's look at how to implement edit text in XML, which is usually done inside the layout file of your activity. Here is a simple XML code for edit text. It is a basic syntax less than edit text and by the end slash greater than. This is the syntax for edit text. It includes Android ID, Android layout width, Android layout height, Android hint. In Android ID gives a unique identifier for the edit text so we can use it in Kotlin or Java. Layout width and layout height defines the size. Both defines the size. Usually we use match parent for width and grab content for height. Android hint. It gives a placeholder text guiding the user on what to enter. This is the simplest way to add an input field to your UI. Essential edit text attributes. Edit text has many attributes that make it flexible. Some of the most useful are Android input type, Android hint, Android text color, Android maxland, Android EMS. In Android input type, it defines what kind of data the field expects. For example, text, password, number, email, phone, etc. In Android hint, placeholders text. In Android text color lets you control the text color to match your app theme. According to your background, you will control by using Android text color. Android maximum it restricts how many characters can be entered. You can set the size. Android EMS sets width based on the letter M. Use it for uniform input fields. Using the right attribute improves both functionally and user experiences. Understanding input types. The Android input type is one of the most powerful attributes, depending on what value is there. Android automatically shows the right keyboard and applies constraints. Let's see some common types. Here are mainly three columns: input type, purpose, keyboard. For purpose general text entry, we use input type text. The keyboard is full QWERTY. For the purpose email input with at the rate and domain shortcuts, we use input type is text email address. For this, keyboard is email keyboard. For purpose secure input with masking, we use input type text password. For this, keyboard is standard with masking. For numeric values only, we use input type is number. For this, keyboard is number pad. Um, for phone numbers, we use input type phone. For this, keyboard is telephone keyboard. For multi-line text, we use input type text multi-line. For this, keyboard is full keyboard with enter. Use the correct input type improves usability, validation, and prevent errors. Connecting edit text with Kotlin or Java. Once you have declared edit text in XML, you need to connect it with your Kotlin or Java code. Here are simple implementations of in Java and Kotlin. Mainly we use Kotlin, and I am here to explain Kotlin implementation. Value name input equal to find view by id less than edit text greater than r dot id dot edit text name. Val is name equal to name input dot text dot to string. Here, some of the keywords find view by ID. It locates the view by its ID, and text gets the current text dot to string. It will convert it to a string. You can also use set text to update the text programmatically. Kotlin syntax is concise compared to Java, making it easier to work with input validation and error handling. Validation is super important for a good user experience. For example, you can check if your field is empty. For email, here is the code for email. This is the code for email, and this is the code for uh, the field is empty or not. For this, best practices are first validate on user actions like button click and show clear error messages and use set error for inline feedback. Consider real-time validation for better UX. Coming to real-world applications, edit text is everywhere in Android apps. Uh, for example, authentication, search interfaces, messaging apps. For authentication, forms use password fields and validation. Such interfaces allows users to quickly find content. Messaging apps use multi-line edit text to type messages in a real time. That's why learning edit text properly is so valuable. Designing best practices. When designing forms, we have to choose correct input type for expected data and provide clear hints or floating labels to guide users. Do proper validation for both on the client and the server side and follow material design guidelines. Do not break the guidelines for spacing, color, and layout. Good UI design leads to fewer errors and a better user experience. Alright, now let's see everything in action with a small example. I have already created an activity main.xml layout with multiple edit text fields like name, email, password, age, phone, and address. There is also a submit button and a text view to display the output. Let's go into the activity main.xml. This is the layout file for our activity. At the top, we use linear layout with orientation equal to vertical. So components stack from top to bottom. The root linear layout has an ID main because later in the activity we use it to apply padding for system bars. Now notice the edit text fields. Each one has a unique ID that we will use in code. ET name uses Android input text equal to text person name. This hints the keyboard to use name, friendly input and capitalization. ET email uses text email address. Here the keyboard shows at the rate and .com shortcuts, making it easier to enter email. ET password uses text password. This hides characters as the user type, so the text is visually masked. ET age uses number. A numeric keypad is shown. Remember, it still returns text. So we convert it to number in Kotlin. It is phone, a phone keypad with dialing characters. ET address uses text multi-line and Android lines equal to 3. So users can type several lines. After the inputs, we have a button with ID, BTN submit and a text view with ID print to display the results. Now let's switch to main activity.kt. Activity extends app compact activity and the core logic happens in onCreate. The first thing we do is call enable edge to edge that allows our app to draw behind the status and navigation bars for a modern look. But when we do that, we must make sure content does not get covered, which is why we set an insects listener later. Next, set content view r.layout.activity main inflates the layout we must just saw. We then call find view by ID for each view, et name, et mail, et password, et age, et phone, et address, et and submit and print. These variables now represent the UI elements so we can read and modify them from Kotlin. The important part is the btn submit dot set on click listener block. When the button is tapped, we build a string message containing all the typed input. We use Kotlin string templates, for example, name dollar flower bracket et name dot text and backslash n to add new lines. Finally, we set print one dot text is equal to message with which updates the text view on screen. A few notes here. etName.text returns an EditText object. Kotlin will convert it to a string when used inside dollar flower brackets. But it's clearly to use etName.text dot to string dot trim. So we remove accidentally spaces. And also because this example is for demonstration. The password is printed in the output in a real app. Never display or log password in plain text. If we need to indicate password length, show masked characters instead. The last block is in the activity is view compact dot set on app apply window insets listener. This listener for system bar insets and sets matching padding on the root view so nothing gets hidden under the status or navigation bar. This is the safe modern approach for edge-to-edge apps. Now I will run the app. Just a moment. It is showing name, email, password, age, phone number, and address, and submit button. See what I am doing. I am typing name, email, password. Password is masked. Whatever we typed, it will show star symbol or that like that. Age and phone number and address. Here I am submitting. When I click submit, you can see all the collected values appear in the text view below. This confirms the edit text fields correctly return the text and we can display or further process this date in the app. That's the full code walkthrough. We saw how XML declares the UI and how Kotlin connects and processes input. So that's it on edit text. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video.